push out of here in just a second and head out to the flower gardens. We just came in a couple hours ago. It was really nice when we came in. It was a little bumpy this morning. There's some storms brewing around out there, and the forecast is for Tuesday and Wednesday to be kind of stormy and rainy. The sea state is forecast to be fine, but we may encounter some storms. So anyway, whatever it is, we'll dive in and enjoy it. We're going to push out of here. We have about a 40-minute ride down the Old Brazos River. Then we're going to head out to the west bank of the flower gardens. We're going to do a couple of dives there tomorrow morning. We're going to move over to the east bank. We're going to try to do a platform if conditions allow and the workboats are on the platforms. We couldn't do them this weekend because there were workboats on it. We got this weird thing out there that work comes before play. I don't get it, but that's their deal. So if we can, we're going to do a platform. No guarantee, but we're going to try. Then we'll move over to the east bank. We're going to do a couple of dives over there. One of those will be a night dive. The next morning, about 2 a.m., we're going to move you over to Stetson, and we're going to spend all day diving Stetson. We're going to do 5 dives over there. One of those will be a night dive, and if you haven't been on a night dive at Stetson, it is awesome. At least in my opinion, it is. It's really a great night dive. Then Wednesday morning, we're going to move over to the Kraken, and we're going to try to do a couple of dives on the Kraken. The buoy that's supposed to be on the Kraken is gone. Nobody knows where it went, but it's gone. The big Parks and Wildlife buoy. So we're going to try to find it, and we're going to try to tie into it and dive it. We haven't done that without the buoy, but we're going to give it a whirl and try to do a couple of dives in there. As you eat lunch, Wednesday we'll steam back, and we should have you back at the dock around 6 o'clock-ish, something around that time of Thursday. Let me introduce the crew right quick and we'll get underway. Michael and John back here are dive masters. They'll be on the back deck with you. They're our surface support and rescue team. They'll check you in and out of the water, keep everything safe and running on the back deck. If there's anything they can do for you along the way, let them know and they will do what they do. Mr. Smith back here is our tank filler. He's going to be on the back deck. Here he's going to keep your tank full and your O-rings in and all that good stuff. So if there's anything that you need in the way of air O-rings, if you have any of those kind of problems, contact Gary, he'll fix you up. Miranda's our chef. She will keep you well fed. So I keep my finger on both. Matthew back here. My name's Glenn. We'll be your captains, and we'll try to find the flower gardens in the morning and most importantly on Sunday, on whatever day, Wednesday. We'll try to find our way back here. Get you back home safe.
It's all right if we don't come back no
I don't care if we ever come back. Clock's still ticking for me. So if along the way we encounter some type of emergency that requires us to prepare to land the ship, we have a signal that we sound that sounds just like that. So if during the trip you hear that signal, or if one of our crew lets you know it's time to prepare to exit the boat, what we would like for you to do is just stop what you're doing, leave everything right where it is. Please don't bring anything with you. Make your way as quickly as possible to the dive deck, up the ladder, onto the sun deck, upstairs. The sun deck is our muster station. That's where we'll be in case of emergency. When you get to the top of the stairwell, one of our crew will be there and issue a life jacket that looks just like this one. It's just a vest type life jacket like everybody's worn. Grab your life jacket, move out of the stairwell so people can continue up, and then put it on, get it all buckled up and tight. This one is kind of unique because it has a different type of fastening system for each level. The top is a snap. You snap the two sides together, pull the tab, it tightens up. The second level is a hook and a D-ring. You hook the hook wherever it went into the D-ring. Stuck to the bottom there somewhere. There it is. Snap the hook in the D-ring, pull it gets tight. And last but not least, on the bottom, there's a tie, just a regular tie. Pull it tight, tie some kind of knot. You can untie in case you don't have to get off the boat. You don't have to wear this the rest of the trip. And then just relax and let us give us an opportunity to take care of the emergency. Chances are we'll do that, and we will just continue on with what we're doing. If we can't, our crew will tell you when and where to exit the boat. Please don't exit until you get instructions from the crew to do that. We have a number of places down low that we would prefer to exit the boat if we had to, but in some cases we may have to exit from some height, like from up on the sun deck. If that's the case, it's not going to be this high. That's why we're going to have to exit to start with. It's going to lower. But it still may be some height. So what we want you to do is go to the edge, grab your life jacket by the collar, pull your elbows in nice and tight, take a step off the side. When you hit the water, look for our life rafts. If necessary, our crew will launch the life rafts. They blow up in great big black and orange circles. Make your way to them. They'll make their way around and pick people up. How many are sailing with us for the first time? A bunch of them. Good. At our furthest point out, we're going to be about 110 nautical miles out, about roughly 130 road miles. We're way out there. But you'll see that there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of boat traffic, oil field traffic, fishing boats, platforms. If we found ourselves in that type of emergency, there's usually help in a reasonable amount of time out there. Our sun deck is open 24 hours. Sometimes people like to hang out up there on the way out, or sometimes people even sleep up there. All those things are fine, but if you're out and about, especially while we're underway at night, please use a lot of caution. We do take spray on our decks. They get a little bit slick sometimes. If you accidentally went over the side, the first opportunity, nobody saw you, recognize that. It's probably in the morning when everybody gets ready to dive and you don't show up. By that time, it's very unlikely there's going to be a positive outcome. So use a lot of caution when you're out running around at night and you're underway. Back down the stairwell, on either side of that stairwell, there's a freshwater shower that you can use when you come back from your dive to rinse off. And right beside each of those showers is a big white barrel full of water. Those are our camera rinse barrels. Those are for our rinsing cameras, nothing else. Please don't put gear, no mask rinsing. We'll have a mask rinse bucket for you. Nothing goes in there but cameras. After the last dive on Wednesday, when all the cameras have been removed, you can rinse your gear in there at that time if you'd like. We'll let you know when that time is. As you walk around the deck tonight, please look and find where the hatches are. Right in the middle of the dive deck, in the very back, there's one. And on the starboard side, this side, a little bit forward, there are two. When you're walking around, please use a lot of caution when you're walking in the area of those hatches, and always look down and make sure first that hatch is covered, and second that cover's not moving. We're in and out of those hatches all day long. When we're down below, we can't see if someone's about to step on it. So we try to beat it, bang it, make noise and motion. But we're going to be counting on you to be paying attention and looking down, because if you take a step off of there, it is a long way to the bottom if you're not expecting it. Directly out the back door, there's a little 2-level table. We call that our camera table, but it's just a place that we try to keep clean and dry. You're welcome to store anything on it that's clean and dry. We ask you not to put super wet towels, swimsuits, anything that's particularly dirty. And most importantly, please don't put drinks on either level as your boat rocks, they will spill, and our clean dry place won't be clean and dry anymore. As you come in and out of this back door during the trip, please pull that door until you hear it click. Sometimes you can shut that door, and if you don't hear the click, it looks like it's shut, and it's not. And as the boat rocks, it may open, swing, and injure someone or damage the door. Our crew sleeps right inside that first room. When you slam that door, that whole entire room shakes. These guys and gals get very little sleep on these trips. They're not going to get much on this one either. We try to give them a little bit that they are going to get. They would really appreciate it if you would hold the door that door until you hear the click. Just inside the door on the starboard side, on this side, you see a door back there that says head number 2 and another door that says head number 3. Those are our toilets. They're just regular push handle toilets. Use the toilet, push the handle, everything should go away. If you push the handle and everything does not go away, please stop right there and come get one of us. If you take one flush, it won't take 2. If you keep flushing, it's going to run over and go down in the bunk room, and I promise you, you will lose friends. So one shot, if it doesn't work, come get us, we'll fix it for you. You can help us avoid problems in the head by doing a couple of things. First and most importantly, no thing, absolutely nothing goes in that head except for toilet paper, not paper towels or any other products. Toilet paper is something that you have eaten and has gone all the way through. As the internet's at different points, vomit is not one of those. We'll talk about that briefly in a minute. The other thing you can do to help us out is close both lids each time you use the head. Keeps things from accidentally falling in there and stopping it up. Right through this way under my feet, you see an emergency exit. If you go down that stairwell into our aft bunk area, if you look all the way down to the end of the hall on your left-hand side, on the port side, as you look down, you'll see a ladder on the wall, and right above that ladder, you see a square on the ceiling. If we have an emergency that blocks the stairwell, go to the other end of the hall, climb the ladder, that square just pushes right out, and you will come out right there, and you can exit either direction out of the door. Right back here where John's standing is another emergency exit. Same thing if you go down the forward stairwell into our forward bunk area. There's a ladder on the wall, square on the ceiling. Climb the ladder, punch the square out. Just above this white cooler you can see there is a shelf, and on that shelf are several plug strips and 2 USB blocks. That's our charging area. If you have lights, phones, computers, whatever you need to charge or plug in, please do it right there. There are a couple of plugs in a couple of the rooms. Those are for breathing machines only. If you're using a breathing machine, please feel free to plug in. Otherwise, for fire safety reasons, we ask you not to use those plugs down there to do all your charging and other things right there. Tonight, as we cruise out, Captain Matthews is going to leave this wheelhouse door closed so he can keep the wheelhouse dark, maintain his night vision. You're welcome to go in and out of there anytime you like, but don't leave that door open any longer than necessary. It affects what he can see. When we get offshore, you will find if you leave this area and go in that area, that it is super dark up there. If you have a flashlight or a flashlight app on your phone or something that you want to use to get down the stairs, that's perfectly fine. If you don't have anything and you're not comfortable getting down the stairs in the dark, ask Matthew, and he has a flashlight up there. He'll light up the stairwell so you can get down safely. At the bottom of that stairwell in the front is another head. It's marked head number 1. That head is an electric head. On the wall right behind the toilet, there's a doorbell. So use the head, push the doorbell. Same thing, same rules as these. It either goes or it doesn't. If it doesn't, stop and come get one of us. Nothing goes in that one either except for toilet paper and something that you've eaten. Please close both lids when you get done. Also in that head forward is a shower. It's just a regular hot and cold shower. If during the trip you need to take a shower, besides our freshwater shower in the back, as long as nobody's in it, it's open 24 hours a day. Head number 2 and head number 3 go through a sewer treatment system. Puts clean water back into the Gulf and on our reef. Head number 1 dumps directly overboard. So we ask that you use head number 1 only for number 1. And any other business you need to take care of, use head 2 or head 3. It keeps our reef cleaner and it keeps our divers from spending a long time in that fish ID boat when that boat that was just swam by. We ask that you not bring any food or drinks down below, front or back, in both bunk areas. If you brought food on board or drinks and they made it below, please bring them back up. There's a white container right here. Just write your name on it, throw it in there. It'll be there whenever you want it. No matter how careful you are, you just can't eat or drink down there without leaving little tiny crumbs of something or a little drip of something. The bugs follow the crumbs. We work hard to keep the bugs off the boat for you. We're going to ask your help in not taking this stuff down. We ask that you not bring or wear any dive-related gear inside. No booties, no wetsuits, no neoprene or dive stuff. Wet or dry doesn't make any difference. We don't want it inside. It scuffs everything up in here, and after the first dive it begins to smell. We try to keep this area clean for you to hang out in and eat and all that good stuff, so leave that outside. If you get out there and find that you have left something inside, you can either take all your stuff off and come get it, or if it's something we can get for you and you don't mind us getting, we'll be more than happy to do that for you as well. Did anybody bring alcohol?
I have
All right.
2 already.
All right.
If you brought it, it's fine and dandy, but the gallon, it has to be stored in the gallon. Sell beer once we get offshore. We don't care when you drink. You're welcome to drink anytime you want to drink on this boat. But after you've had a drink, you can't dive for the rest of the day. Our day starts at 12:01 a.m. So if you drink after midnight, just keep going. You got all day long. No need to stop. No diving for you. We have a couple. Right before we get home on Wednesday, we usually have our final briefing. We open the store. If anybody's interested in t-shirts, caps, anything like that, take care of that then. We do have a couple of things that we have in our inventory now that people are interested in during the trip, and I always forget it when my boss gets mad, so I want to do that tonight so I won't get in trouble. We have these microfiber towels on the boat now. If you forgot a towel, or if you have a regular towel that gets wet out here, it often won't dry just because of the environment. These are awesome. we have a blue long sleeve and a red short sleeve rash guard. So if anybody's interested in any of those things, just let any of the crew know along the way and we'll fix you up. Any questions about any of that? If anybody else has made it this far with a firearm in their possession, please see me directly after this briefing and we'll get that secured in my safe and all will be well. Find an unsecured weapon on the boat, it's not going to all be well. There's no reason for that. So see me right after we'll get that taken care of and carry on with our business. Any questions about any of that? All right, Mirand's going to tell you about the important stuff.
All right, good evening, guys. Everything that I serve will be served buffet style, so if there's something on the counter, you're more than welcome to help yourself to it. We'll start tomorrow with the continental breakfast, and then after every dive, I'll have a hot meal for you, so you will have plenty of food. So when you come up from your dive or when you're ready to eat, the first thing you'll do is grab your plate, and then right below the plate is the silverware. Everyone forgets the silverware, so don't forget that. Then over in this basket, we have little boats if you just need extra space or if you just want something small. And then there's also napkins over here for you guys. You can help yourself to the food, eat when you're done. Right over here, you'll put any food scraps into the bucket. I dumped that overboard, so please don't put any like paper or plastic in there, just food scraps. The trash, any paper trash will go in the trash can right here, and then your dishes can just go in the gray tub, and I'll take them from there. That's pretty much food. Drinks, we have cups over here. Everyone can get a cup, and on the cup there's a little tag. If you'll write your bunk number on there, that way I will know who it belongs to. In case it gets left out, I can put it where it goes. You can store your cup in this little holder over here. Whatever your bunk number is, you can put your cup in the circle that's next to that number, and it can stay there. That way it doesn't spill, get knocked over, or anything like that. We have ice right here. The ice scoop's over on the side. Use it. When you're done, please put it back over here. If you leave it in there, it gets buried and it's not fun to dig out. In the orange coolers over here, I'll have lemonade and Gatorade there at all times for y'all. Right behind there is a sink. The water from that sink is good to drink. And then above the sink, there's coffee. In the morning, I'll have that done. And then hot water for some tea and oatmeal, hot chocolate, and things like that. We also sell sodas and bottled water. If you want any of those things, just let me know and I can grab it for you. And we'll use the honor system for that. Up here, there's a footboard, and next to your bunk number is your name. And if you get a soda, water, or anything during the trip, you can just make a mark underneath that column, and we'll keep it out at the very end of the trip. Food, drinks, I think that's it.
Time for breakfast, continental breakfast, what time is it?
6 o'clock.
6.
Yes. So we'll come and wake y'all up at 6 o'clock, and then come up and have your continental breakfast, and the first stop's at 7. Any other questions? The captain normally plugs it in, and it's normally ready about 5:30, between 5:30 and 6. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. If anyone has any dietary needs, just please get with me and let me know so that I can try my best to fix y'all up during the trip. All right, well that's it. The dive masters are going to tell you about the food stuff now without food stuff.
All right, everybody on both dive and night trucks, I believe, but we have a 130 limit on your dives. But remember, check your maximum operating depth on your night trucks for your percentage that you're using. There'll be an analyzer on the back table, camera table. There'll be a green folder. It'll have each of the name for each one, or a sheet for each person's name. Fill it out, do all the information. If you have any questions about that, we can go over that. Everybody have a dive computer? All right. So follow the limitations on your dive computer. Don't go into decode. If you're in a decode, we have to get you out for 24 hours. Y'all signed all that, so y'all know that. Out of air situation. When y'all come back on the deck, I'd like all y'all to be breathing off your regulators and be able to. If I say take a breath, you should be able to take a breath. All right. Don't run out of air. It's not fun. There is going to be a downline on it with an air tank. So if there is an emergency and you need to use it, you can use it. And when we get on the Kraken, unless you're certified to be in an overhead environment, please do not go inside. That's about that. He's going to give you all the ins and outs. I was just giving you all the dive rules.
All right, guys, I'm going to give the briefing as far as the how to exit the boat and enter the boat when we do our dives. And Mike's going to pull up the map so we'll show so that's the fling boat right here. All right, so in the morning what's gonna happen is we're gonna wake you guys up an hour before the dive. And so we're hoping that everybody gets up and gets suited up and get ready to go. Our first dive is at 7 a.m. All right. So once we're all suited up and ready to go, we're gonna be, well, let me explain the boat right quick. The rigging that we have set up here is, this is the mooring line, all right? This is the line set up to the boat. This is the side line here, and these are the down lines we have. And these lines here are come off the ladder, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump off the gate, right? Once we jump off the gate, we're gonna get in the water. Once we're in the water, we're gonna turn around and give us the okay signal that you're okay. If something's wrong, let us know, and then we'll take care of you back to the boat. But we want you to stay on this line right here, all right? If there's any issues, you can just come back, no problem, and we can fix you up. Now, when you're ready to go, you're gonna take down this line here, you go down this line, you're gonna follow the line down to the U-bolt, all right? Once you're down to the U-bolt, we're gonna have a sight line that goes out to whatever point of interest that we have. Or
We normally go to the wall.
Yeah, we normally go to a wall or something, or a sand patch or whatever, and you'll follow that. All right. Once once you come back to the U-bolt, you're gonna come back up the line. This here's gonna be 30 feet, so you can follow the line, do your safety stop. Once you're done with your safety stop, proceed all the way to the back of the boat. You're gonna come back over here, and then you're gonna let go there, and you're gonna come over here to the ladder line. All right. Once you get to the ladder line, we're gonna ask that you stay at least 5 feet behind the ladder. All right, so this way you can get situated and get your fins off. You're gonna take your fins off, and then you're gonna put your fin straps on your arms so you won't lose your fins. Once you do that, just like this, put one here, and you can put one on the other side, and then you can proceed and go forward onto the ladder. Once you get on the ladder, make sure, if it's rough out there, make sure you do your timing right to get on the ladder. If that ladder's going up and down, you know, chill out for a second, wait for it to settle down. Usually it settles down for a minute. That's your, call it the window of opportunity. Then you'll get on the ladder. Make sure you plant your both feet on it, right? And then hit each rung. Don't try to skip one or anything. Just go through each one. Get to the top of the dive platform, and then proceed up there. Once you get up to the top of the boat up here, we're going to ask you how deep you've been down and how long you've been down. All right, we're going to enter that into our dive pool. All right. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and go back into your seat, put your tank back in, make sure your tank is properly placed in, and then what you'll do is that you want to take off your regulator, your first stage, remove that, put it to the side. This way the tank filler can know that you need the air. All right. And they'll put the air in. Then once they're done putting the air, they're gonna put the cap back on it. That's letting you know that you're full of air. If the cap is not on, or it's not on, it means you don't have your air yet, but we'll get it to you.
Be sure for the ride out that you don't put your weights in your BC yet. Put them on the side. If you don't need some more weight, just let us know. We'll drop you down below with some weights for you.
And of course, you guys have.
Also, it's a good idea with the boats rocking. Undo your first stage off your tankless today. Put the cap on, leave the cap on. Take the first out. But if it's a fall, there's a tendency to land it on that regulator, and it doesn't give well against the floor, or it does give well against the floor.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask us, and we'll go over it again if you need to. All right, anybody have any questions?
So you say take the reg, don't leave the regs hooked up to the tanks for this evening?
No, yeah, remove that in case we get into heavy seas and your equipment comes over or whatever. Usually it tends to land right on the first stage and break it. So
That's brass.
What's that?
It's brass.
Right.
Soft.
Yeah, soft. All right.